Hey everybody, welcome to week number 7. Again, I think I say this every week. I just can't believe how fast these things are going. We are just about to the end. Really, we are just right there, and it just blows me away. And I am have been completely impressed and blown away by the things that you guys have been doing with your writings, with your arguments, and your work ethic. I mean, you guys have been doing great, and I know that we're going to finish this off strong. Let's take a look at module number 7, joining the conversation through argument. So, up to this point, we've been evaluating other people's arguments, we've been commenting on other people's arguments, we've been kind of analyzing and evaluating and kind of critiquing those arguments. Now we're going to create our own. And what we are looking at now is to be able to take all these sources that we have and say, okay, here's what I believe and this is why I believe it. And here's a bunch of sources that I can use to validate and back up my claims. And that is our ultimate goal for this module. So it is joining the conversation. And I really want you to kind of keep that idea of joining the conversation in mind, because I think that's one of the real powers of argument. This is a discussion, this is a conversation, this is a back and forth where we're trading ideas, we're sharing thoughts, we're working together to come to this conclusion, right? If I'm just shouting my position at you and expecting you to take it, that's not a conversation, and that's really not argument. That's just me stating my fact. So I really want you to keep that kind of two-way communication idea in the back of your mind. Obviously, we can't, have two-way conversation necessarily. It won't go necessarily back and forth like that, but that concept is there, and the idea of what would your audience say if they had the chance to say it. So let's take a look at our major writing assignment, and this is the half draft of the argument. Now, we are to the end of the semester, and I know this is a half draft, but I would really suggest that you get as much of this done as you can. I know it's like half, and all you have to do is get part of it, but really get as much of it done as you can, because that's really going to set you up. That last week, you're going to have so much going on. It would be so much better if you had like this done and off your plate, at least the bulk of it, so where you're just going back and doing some revisions and some editing. If you look at the elements of the research argument essay, it gives you some pieces here. Obviously, the argumentative thesis statement. This clearly states your position. Now, some things to think about the thesis. We've talked about these before. Your materials talked about them. You don't use the word I, right? I believe, I think, I'm going to state. We don't need any of that. That's stating the obvious. It's your paper, so of course you believe it. Of course, this is your position. So I don't think we need to say that. Plus, that's really casual. We're trying to keep a very formal, a very expert tone, or professional tone. We're keeping it third person. The introductory paragraph. So obviously, we want to get our audience's attention. We want to draw them in. Can we give them a visual? Can we give them something to think about? Can we make them start thinking about this topic? And then we're going to give that thesis statement, and we are going to set up the expectations for this paper. This is the introductions where we set up the tone, where we set the expectations for the paper, and then we come and we give that thesis where there's no doubt where we stand on this issue. Now, when we look at the arguments, now this is the body of our paper. This is what we are trying to do. Offer the claim of your support, obviously, provide evidence. That's key, right? I say this, but then I have to back it up. One of the examples I always use is, where's the best cheese dip to buy in Evansville? I live here in Evansville. I'm teaching from Evansville. So there's a Mexican place here in town called Los Bravos. Love that place. And I will always tell you, that's the best cheese dip in town. But if I don't go beyond that, you don't have any reason to believe me. And there's no rational reason. I didn't give you any rational reason to buy into that, right? But if I say it's got good flavor, it's got good amount of spice, it's thick, so when you put the chip in, the cheese sticks to it, and the price is right, I've given you reasons, I've given you evidence to believe. Contains reasoning about the evidence and explain how it proves or supports the claims. Obviously, that's that analysis piece. Here is a piece of evidence. How does it support? Why do I use that to back up my claim? Why does it say the thing that I believe that it says? And we really want to connect all these pieces together, right? We want to connect the evidence. We want to connect the readings that we've done. We want to connect our own ideas and our own experiences and these visuals that we have. We want to tie all of those pieces together to make that whole package to get the audience to a position where they are willing to and able to buy into what you believe. Obviously, arrangement, order, this is going to be very important. The structure of your paper is very important. We think about how we logically organize our paper for the reader. And there's no one way it has to be, but think about the best way to get your audience to a particular position. Sometimes you have to start big. Okay, here's my best reason, and my second best, my third best, my fourth best, right? I've got you, and then I just keep backing it up. But maybe sometimes I've got to work you to it. So I give you a little one, and then a little bigger one, then a little bigger one. Then I finally, once I kind of got you hooked, then I yank that back in, and I got you buying into it with the best possible source, right? No matter how you approach this, just remember your goal is to help the audience buy into what you're saying. And obviously, we're going to cite it. We're going to have that documentation. Here's some pieces that you do need to understand for your paper. Don't forget that it does have to be in either MLA or APA style. It does say that the half draft is 600 to 700 words, but really we're looking for you to produce as much as you can so that you have just that much less you have to deal with the last week. And then let's take a look at the discussion boards. And again, we've talked about the discussion boards in the past, and this one's pretty straightforward. You post a thesis statement, your working thesis statement for your paper, and then you give some different types of claims based on the slideshow that you get. Claim a definition, claim a cause and effect. Try some of these different ideas out, and then kind of walk through what you think of those claims. Now, when you are replying to other people, then here's what you're doing. What is the strength? What is the weakness? How well was it effective? Or how well was it supported? How effective was that support? Think critically, not mean. Obviously, we don't want to be mean, but think critically. Say, okay, does this work for me? How or why? What could be done to improve this? What works in this thesis? What works in these claims? And what maybe needs a little bit extra work? So again, I just want to continue to keep pushing you. You guys are doing great work. Keep it up. We are almost to the end. Let's finish strong. Again, if you have any questions at all, please make sure you're reaching out to me. Emailing is the best way. Like I've said all semester, emailing is the best way. But if there's some reason that you need to call me or text me, feel free to do that. And again, we are almost to the end. So if there's any health issues that pop up here at the very end, you need to be reaching out to me and your advisor so that you can address those issues and make sure that you don't get caught at the very end of the semester short. Guys, good luck. Can't wait to see what you guys are arguing.